Hey everyone, welcome back to the Close Call podcast. This is me, Akshay, with Harjas. And the Chennai Super Kings versus Rajasthan Royals game has just gotten over, and Chennai Super Kings prevailed once again on Wankhede Stadium. It was a great match, a great total put on the board by Chennai Super Kings of 188 runs. But Rajasthan once again tumbled with their batting order largely failing them. Let's take first thoughts from Harjas.
Chennai somehow made 188, from their batsmen, all of the batsmen playing just a kind of supporting role. Only Duplessis got a 30 plus score. I'm like, still 188, and they and they defended it well. Defended it well thanks to Jadeja's. It was Jadeja's game. He was the judge and the executioner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's actually important, right? We will talk about Jadeja, of course, but it's very important that you said that Chennai, they didn't really have a through and through batsman who took them through. So you had Rituraj Gaikwad with 10 runs, Faf with 13, Moin with 26, Suresh with 18, Raidu with 27, then Jadeja with 8, Dhoni with 18, Dwayne Bravo then giving them a good finishing. We saw Kyron Pollard
Hmm.
finish it a few days back for Mumbai Indians. So the West Indians, of course, have it in them. Still, the old West Indians, they do have it in them to finish these games. But very important was that this is the biggest thing that the teams were separated by. Even Rajasthan, they did not have a great scorer, like, rather than other than Joss
Butler,
Butler. He
yeah.
got some 49 runs. So if everyone else would have contributed, like you mentioned, for people like Suresh Raina, Ambati Raidu, they did for Chennai. Even Dhoni came, had a few good shots. But then again, I mean, I think that's the basic difference, right? Chennai, everybody knew that, well, a decent total will be 180 plus something. And if you can put that, it is really defendable. And I think they did very intelligently. Dhoni came in, got himself a few balls to play. Then Sam Curran came in. Good decision to send Sam Curran late because you're obviously at this age point, you're not expecting from MS Dhoni to just come and hit with successful rates. So good that Sam Curran was sent towards the end, made some 13, 14 runs of the 6, 7 balls that he played. So great again. Talk talk us through about talk to us about the Rajasthan innings. What did you think about the Rajasthan innings?
Rajasthan innings, things really changed for them after, the Chennai bowlers got the new ball after the 10th over. IPL has made that rule that, the bowling side will get a new ball after, the ball has been hit on the, out of the stands, like that. So that was a changing point for them. Rajasthan batsmen like Dube, Miller playing the new ball, and credit goes to Ravindra Jadeja and Moeen Ali. They bowled well. They kept their lengths at the good length, and didn't let the batsmen get on top of them. Kept bowled the occasional orthodox style, but still
Yeah.
had that pace in their bowling. Jadeja bowled a beauty with that Joss Butler ball, which got him bowled. A bit of flight, a bit of flatness to the flight. Ball dipping in, then going straight. It's like Butler played
Exactly.
for the ball, inside, but got in through the off stump. Then we
Yeah.
of
No,
course
I mean,
saw.
you mentioned about the spin. Just to mention a quick fact, there was a stat that came on the game TV, and that said that the Rajasthan Royals spinners, they spun the ball by some 2 degree, whereas the Chennai Super Kings spun the ball. The Chennai spinners, they spun the ball almost twice as much as the Rajasthan Royals, uh, Rajasthan spinners did. So I think that was something that worked for the Chennai guys. They relied on the orthodox, like you said, orthodox off spin more than somebody like Rian Parag did, and I think that really worked for them.
Surprising that surprising thing that Moeen Ali and Ravindra Jadeja aren't heavy spinners of the ball. The ball doesn't
Yeah,
turn much, so that was their taking away from the game. That
yeah,
they just had the batsman trapped with the wickets, the new ball. They could have
exactly.
just gone for the big runs, but batsmen were also playing silly shots. We saw Ryan Prague going for a big hit, and just after that we saw Chris Morris got out on the same shot. I was like, ah man, not again. But I feel good for Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali has this in him. If he doesn't score at the top, he has his bowling to back up for his performance, back up for his side. Being that I'm here in the team, so I'm making it count. Ravindra Jadeja, of course, had a great day at the field, taking 4 catches and 2 wickets. It was like his day.
Exactly. I mean, for someone like Ravindra Jadeja, he's everywhere in the field, and I think that's also credit to how Dhoni utilizes Jadeja a
Places
little bit,
him.
and 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 you see he's always on the boundary line where you expect the batsman to hit. So I think that's good coordination from the bowler and MS Dhoni, of course, because the bowlers are clearly listening to what the captain is trying to tell them to bowl the correct areas, to trap the batsman, like you said. And then when the plan works, 50% to when the plan is executed well to 50%, the other 50% is left to Ravindra Jadeja, who you already always know that is going to get the ball. He's not the one who's going to make mistakes. In fact, he takes some of the best catches. So yeah, of course, Ravindra Jadeja putting in a great effort. And coming from an injury, I think this is a big bonus from Jadeja, big bonus for Jadeja, because when you're coming from an injury and you have a tournament as important as IPL to play, and then the World T20 is there. Of course, nobody is taking Jadeja's place away. He's ever present in the Indian national team setup. But I still think that somehow for an injured player, it's always a doubt, and I think he's really answering uh, every selector to his level best. He had that little call gesture today after he took the fourth catch. Don't know who that was for, but he's clearly sending out the message loud and clear.
Jadeja is a fit guy. Jadeja is a fit guy. We haven't seen him, get in trouble with much injuries. There have been, times we have been injured, but it hasn't affected his performance. We have seen Shami getting affected by his injury. Hardik Pandya not bowling with the shoulder niggle right now in the IPL. Jadeja is like his fitness level speaks for him.
Let's talk about, two constant failures in the Rajasthan camp. And those two have been, I think, Manan Vohra on the top of the batting order and then Shivam Dube in the middle. And I think the bigger question with Shivam Dube comes in the form of he's not somebody who's giving you 4 or 3 overs as well in all these games. And he's not somebody who's, adding those 30s and 40s in a quick succession for you that you need from somebody in the batting order. So do you think it's high time now that they start experimenting? Because Rajasthan have already lost all their 3 matches, I think.
Yeah,
So
Rajasthan is a side where they had a lot of expectations from the matches and the analysis before the IPL started, but due to injuries, those of Ben Stokes and Jofra Archer, we haven't seen much from their side. Though their bowling side have recovered, have filled the void of Ben Stokes, we are still seeing a gap in their batting lineup. Shivam Dube, of course, he was in the RCB camp before. Kohli promoted him into the international side. Dube got in a bit of runs, but again he was out. So I guess Samsung, I guess, is still trying him out. And about Manan Vora, we see with Manan Vora that a similar difficulty is with CSK in the form of Ruturaj Gaikwad. Not a big scorer, a medium and a very average 100 strike rate that you expect from a batsman, that you see from the batsman in the ODI sides. He's a good ODI player, but not a very excellent IPL player. So I mean, these things stays in the dressing room of what their roles are. I mean, they have not played it out as of now. I was hearing Dhoni's post-match interview. Nothing about Rituj Gaikwad, nothing about Shivam Dube, nothing about Manan Bhora. They will be thinking about it. Dhoni hasn't made his chance clear, of why he's sending himself, why his batting order is getting fluctuated again at number 9, number 7, number 8. So, he's dynamic on the field. Dhoni is like a computer while he decides fielding, but uh, that computer might slow down when he's batting. You get that with age. The power hitting has been invisible, has not even has vanished. We have not seen that, and
yeah, I mean, I think the problem. I think the reason why CSK would be a much relaxed camp with MS Dhoni not firing on not firing all guns blazing is because of how well Sam Curran and Moeen Ali have settled into the camp. And I think Moeen Ali is the biggest plus. I think till now, Moeen Ali has been phenomenal for them. Phenomenal. You've seen him do the trick with the ball. He's not somebody who goes for maximums for a lot of runs, right? He's somebody who like you mentioned, like Jadeja, bowls that stump line, wants the pitch to do what the pitch does, and he would sometimes go very quick through the air, like Jadeja himself does. And those things have always been working for these guys. Moeen Ali today was, I think, really very good with his bowling spell. Dhoni utilized him very aptly in the correct overs. I think he knew that David Miller would look to accelerate, Riyan Parag would look to accelerate, because, like I said in the previous episodes as well, it has been a tendency that, in the 12 to 15 over, teams like to accelerate more than they used to do before, because they don't want to leave a lot towards the end of the innings. And I think that is where that sensibility part has to come in. Sometimes you have to respect the pitch. Sometimes you have to also respect the bowling, the kind of bowling that's happening, the way the pitch is behaving. I think those are the reasons why MS Dhoni himself is a little relaxed right now. But you can always have those matches where the batting order doesn't work at all and it's all left to the big man. And his muscles are not working on that day. He's not able to muscle the ball away. One of the things that Rajasthan Royals surely needs to look in is the fact that when they played against Punjab at 1K Day, these teams made 200 plus. Sanju Samson was chasing and he got 100 to it. But I think what they, again, each and every game, you have got the same problem with Rajasthan. They're too reliant on one of their batsmen. And the other end is not secure. People just keep losing their wickets and it's not working. So I think there has to be some changes in that batting order. Probably they have to decide that, Manan Vohra and Shivam Dube, maybe it's the best to drop them for now and get some points on the board, because it's not really working for them right now.
Mm-hmm. We see changes in just one of them. Instead of Manan Vohra, we just put Shivam Dube out, or instead of Dube, we put Manan Vohra out. How much does that change their game? Just one single player providing, hitting those runs may just relieve the other batsmen of that pressure. So instead of, a drastic change of putting those two play out, maybe they can keep one in the game and put the other out. All depends on Sanju Samson and, Sangakkara's mind.
Yeah, but I think it also depends on how well they translate their performances. Like I said, the reason why it becomes easier to give show Shivam Dube the outside door is because you're not also utilizing him in bowling, right?
Yeah.
Suppose he was he was one of your 4-over bowler guy, then that's purposeful. But now with Sakariya, I think Sakariya is one of the he can actually be the emerging player of the season. I think he and Arshdeep, you talked about Arshdeep as well. But I think Sakariya, there's just some glow on his face. When you look at him, you see him that he wants to learn, he wants to bowl. He got MS Dhoni out today. He got a lot of
Raidu out. Yeah.
Ryan and Raidu out. So I think with Sakariya, you realize that he's surely one for the future. I think he's got a very bright future. Very young also, coming at this age. And I think you mentioned about Shami having a bad season. And I think one of the reasons for that is because Shami hasn't been adapting to the pitches. You see Arshdeep and Sakariya, they've grown in this modern environment where variations are a part of your daily bowling life. You cannot completely be, a pace bowler for them is not just a pace bowler. A pace bowler has to do a lot more things than just bowl fast. And I think when you see Shami's game, he was somebody who was hitting the deck hard, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. And that was not really working on that particular pitch. And I think that really got him blasted that day. Bad day at the office for Mohammad Shami. So that was all from us at the Close Call podcast. Another day, another game, and we will be back with another episode to entertain you with everything that you should know about IPL 2021. Thank you so much.